Today on Combustion Chamber Live, we're here at Cars and Coffee Central Florida, the premier and largest cars and coffee in this area. And I am sitting in a 900 horsepower Corvette ZR1, which you can see on Combustion Chamber. But today, it's all about the show. Let's get after it.
Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Springer and I'm a realtor with the Network Property Group. We help people buy and sell homes all across the state of Florida, but I'm here at Cars and Coffee Central Florida to be your real estate resource in the Central Florida market. If you see me out, if you have any questions, or your friends or family, they have questions about the real estate market, please come over and say hi and introduce yourself, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, let's get things started off right today with the brand new Supra. Very good looking car, I think. I know there's some purists out there that have some things to say about it. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on the car. This is my first time seeing one live here today. It was built in conjunction with BMW, but it is not a BMW car. Toyota's been very, very clear about that. So it does have some of the lines, a little bit of that classic styling that we've all come to know and love. You know, it's pretty legendary. In the import community, the older Supra is. But what do you think of this car? Now that you're seeing it here today, what do you think? Do you like it with the black, with the red mirrors and the red interior with carbon fiber? I think it looks pretty nice. But does this stack up to the old school Supras that you love? Would you buy one? Let me know in the comment section below. Now check this out, it's definitely a first for us, and RWB Porsche out here today, those huge fenders right there. So they actually cut into the car to make room for those wider tires. And then they fabricate these parts and apply it to the car. You could have suspension and performance upgrades if you want. There's a whole bunch of different levels and platforms that you can get with one of these. You know, a lot of people compare it to, let's say, Liberty Walk with its just big, you know, you got the rivets, you've got the big fender flares, big wing out back. Very popular car out here today, as you can see. So what do you think about this? Would you do this to a Porsche? I know sometimes these cars are a little on the controversial side, so I'd love to know your thoughts on this car. So the show is just getting started here this morning, but you can see we've got a very wide variety of cars. Everybody is welcome. You've got a ZL1 right there. You've got a Kia Stinger, which is a rear-wheel drive car with a twin-turbo V6. You've got Audi. A few of these guys show up. You can see there's another one right there. And behind that is some classic American muscle. Nice black on black Chevelle. And a personal favorite of mine are third gen Camaros. That would explain my hair.
85, first year IROC.
For the owner, 1985 first year IROC. It'll take a wild guess that's not stock. And what do we have here? We have another Supra. This one white with the those red accent mirrors. This is brand new, obviously. You can see you still got the dealer tags on it. Like the other Supra, what do you think of this car? Cadillac V-Series with a supercharged LSA, Brembo brakes. Had the pleasure of driving one of those cars a long time ago. And here we've got our Volkswagen in that sort of a matte gray color. I don't know what Volkswagen calls it exactly. Let me know in the comment section below. Wrap? Oh, cool. Nice. And a Jaguar F-Type. I've driven both the coupe and convertible. This would be the 6-cylinder iteration of the car. However, the ones that I drove were the supercharged V8s. They're 5-liter engines. But 6-cylinder or 8-cylinder, I really, really love the car. Having just the opportunity to drive these when they first came out was a blast, and I may have romped on it a little bit. And here is the ZR1 you saw in the opening, and that is on combustion chamber. This is our latest episode. I had the pleasure of driving this car. If you're not familiar with our professionally shot show combustion chamber, check that out. Driving this thing was a blast. The owner's very nice. Right now he's talking about features and things with a guest here. So the car is far from stock. He's got aftermarket exhaust, intake, just a whole variety of things to take it from that over 700 horsepower number to 900. Really fantastic car. You can see the aftermarket exhaust tips right down there. So if you want to see this car in action, check out the link down below. Right here we've got a Ferrari 458 Italia. We actually had one of these on the show. Not this particular one. Ours was in a darker red. I can't remember the name. It's a name after a town in Italy. But these are a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance to just even ride in it, I highly recommend it. I also recommend our combustion chamber episode. It's actually a very personal one to me and my team. So very nice car though. Last of their naturally aspirated cars as well. And you come down here and you've got a Lamborghini Huracan. This would be the all-wheel drive version with its naturally aspirated V10 putting out 610 horsepower. Now, how can you tell? All-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive? Well, all-wheel drive typically has a badge right down there, and it says 610, for its horsepower, and 4 for all-wheel drive. But if you're ever unsure, maybe there's no badge on it, because owners can take them off if they wish. This particular styled front end is the giveaway. Great looking car. The Huracan 610-4 is the car that I've gone the fastest in. 150 miles an hour consecutively on the back straightaway at Palm Beach International Raceway. So right here we've got an old school Supra, a classic in the import community. And even if you're just a car guy, it was famous already, but definitely famous because of the first Fast and Furious movie. And here we have another new one, a white one right here. Looks to be spec'd similarly. Obviously it's a different color, but it has the red interior, the red mirrors. Pretty nice. So I predict we're going to be seeing a lot of these cars in the near future at Cars and Coffee, well, all around the country really. So there's all these different versions you could buy. You could buy a launch edition, which I'm told those are hard to get a hold of, and then ones in various different specs. So both good looking cars. Which one would you take, white or black or old school? Right here we have another Corvette ZR1 in a bright vivid orange color. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer that blue gray one over there that we saw earlier, or do you like this color better? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and bell icon for instant notifications when we go live with new episodes such as this. Just such an aggressive looking car, and really overcame the heating issues on the track that plagued the Z06. Not that the Z06 is not a good car, it is, but they've been having issues on the track, so they took care of that. Right here we got another Jaguar F-Type. This would be the 6-cylinder version, and it's got some accents here on the interior that I have not seen. Looks like some custom leather stitching right there. The seatbelt pad right there. Pretty interesting. Steering wheel cover. Looks like he's got the addition to the paddles there. They're a little larger than they normally are. Still, it's pretty neat. The black, the white, the red that runs throughout this vehicle. It's pretty neat. It's great to see one of these that's been customized a little bit. A lot of people get them and keep them stock, and some people don't keep them for very long. They find another car to buy, trade it in or whatever. This is great. I think it's neat that he's taken to customizing it. And right next to that one is the supercharged 8-cylinder, a 5-liter. As far as I know, this is an 8-liter because they have the 2 sets of exhaust tips out back. So really, really nice car. And once again, driven these, really love them. Right here, we're with some of the Audis we saw earlier. You can get some of these cars in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, which is great for handling. Really nice, really well-made cars. And more Audi, Mercedes, Audi. Not Mercedes, Audi is in the same car, of course. I'll drive myself a Mercedes Audi. And right here we've got a Maserati SUV. So what do you think about Maserati? You know, like their GT sports car has not changed how it's looked in a decade or so. Some people like that, some people don't. So what do you think of their entry into the SUV market? Now, they've been out in the SUV market a little while now, but what do you think about the way this vehicle looks, the way it sits? I do like those wheels on it though. Those look pretty nice. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this ride? Because, you know, luxury and performance SUVs are all the rage. You know, you've even got Lamborghini making SUVs now. So what do you think about this one? Right here, we've got a Corvette ZL1 of the 6th generation. Really love that blue. I think it's really striking. And of course, this car is awesome as well. It has a little over 600 horsepower, I think 620 stock. But like a lot of Corvette, or excuse me, a lot of Camaro owners, you can modify it. And the Corvette guys modify theirs as well. So we've got another 6th generation right here, right next to a 5th generation. Looks like he's got maybe a blackout grille or is it billet? Maybe. So pretty neat stuff. This would be an 8-cylinder car, unless he's modified it to make it look like an 8-cylinder, but I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure it's an 8-cylinder car. So it's all blacked out, rims, tires, the grills. Really nice car. And right next to it, we've got a 6th generation Super Sport 1LE. Now, if you want to be sure that you're spotting a 1LE, matte black hood is just the biggest giveaway, and they also come with their own rim and tire package. It has some of the performance suspension off of the ZL1 and the SS package. And right here, we've got a classic Corvette. Now this, I'm going to guess, is late 70s or early 80s because it doesn't have the chrome exposed bumpers. They did away with those, I believe, in the very late 70s. And they dropped the Stingray name as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I am, though, in the comments down below. But really love this body style. I actually would very much like to have one of these. Right next to it, a 4th generation Camaro. Y'all know I have a soft spot for 4th gens, as I am a 4th gen owner. It's currently my project car, and it's not getting worked on nearly enough, so go to Patreon, please. I'm kidding. Patreon money just not going to my car. So the show is my project car. So LS1, 5.7 liter. He's got the SLP airbox, and I believe under the hood ram air, that piece of aluminum down there, you actually cut into the bottom of the box, and you can, and that's where the air comes from underneath the car. So you remove all this, you cut into the bottom of the airbox, and then you slide that intake in there, so it's feeding from the bottom, and it feeds where it normally does, right there on that little lip. And when you do that, you also, when you get an aftermarket airbox, you get rid of the baffles. Now, I'm pretty sure both the 6-cylinder and the 8 come with these baffles. I know the 6 does for sure. I'm pretty sure the 8 does as well. It goes on either side, just right after the airbox, and it does something with the air. It delays it a little bit. It's something to do with emissions, and I think it warms up the air just a little bit for some sort of regulations or emissions thing. But you can rip that right off when you take off the stock airbox. So the show is well underway, but we still have a lot of people showing up. We have another new Supra right here. Got a Nissan GTR that pulled in, and we have another new Supra that pulled in as well, with another classic one. And this other Supra seems to not be a straight-on white. I think it's some unique color. Of course, we got a nice Challenger here, an RX-7, and a very special car to me, the Toyota MR2. This is one of our highest viewed episodes on Combustion Chamber. I really love the MR2. I learned how to autocross on a 3rd gen MR2 that had TRD suspension overhaul. The owner really did a lot to it. A good friend of mine. That owner actually now drives a Porsche Boxster, and once again he let me drive it on the Formula 1 track in Austin, Circuit of the Americas. But this car has a really great story behind it. I really recommend that you subscribe, hit that like button, and then check out this story. Check out our most popular videos, and this is going to be right up there within the top 5. Hey man, but really nice car. I would recommend anyone picking one of those up for fun, for autocross. I love them. Now check out this pretty wild Mustang right here. Boosted 8 on Instagram there. Has that wide body kit on it. Pretty reminiscent of RWB or Liberty Walk. We did have a Liberty Walk Lamborghini on our show. That was a lot of fun to drive. It was twin turbo, had 1,200 horsepower. But this car is really wild looking, probably bagged. I'm gonna take a wild guess that it's bagged so they can lift up the suspension and not bottom out. And then when they come to a show like this, bring it back down for that nice stance appearance that it does have. Definitely a lot of custom work on this. Got custom carbon fiber. You got the two-tone wrap there. Pretty interesting stuff, pretty wild. One of the wilder custom Mustangs that I've seen. So what do you think of doing this to an American car? You know, you see it with RWB, you see it with the Porsches, with Liberty Walk, you see it with the exotics, and you see a lot of this with import cars. But what do you think when it's applied to a Mustang like this? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you're wondering what I mean by bagged, it's very similar actually. We have a semi truck here today. You see those airbags right there? Well, it's very similar to that. A compressor fills up that bladder with air, or air can be released for ride height on the suspension. So you apply essentially the same technology to a car like this. You can air up your suspension, raise the height of the vehicle, drive it like a normal car. I mean, the ride feel is going to be a little different, of course, but you do that, and when you come to a show like this for the look, you can bring it back down. So that way, you know, you get drivability out of it. If you just slam your car, which some people do that, and that's up to them, you know, you have kind of a little bit of a rough time driving down the street without wrecking your vehicle. And right here, we got a whole row of GTRs. You know, the external styling hasn't changed a lot on these cars, but they still have just such a loyal following. Really nice cars all the way around. We've got some more imports down here. Oh wow, I haven't seen one of these in a good while. Let's check it out. Right-hand drive. You can see right there. This right-hand drive Skyline is definitely a nice treat for today. And the Kia Stinger we saw earlier, really nice car. I really want to get one of these on the show actually. The supercharged Cadillac. And then here we've got some Infinitis. I've driven a lot of Infinitis. They're SUVs, they're cars, Q50s, Q60Ts. Actually, one of our highest episodes, our highest viewed episodes is a Q60T, that newer version, and the owner did donuts for us, which is pretty cool. You don't see people in luxury sports cars doing donuts that often. So these sedans are still very popular. I remember Infiniti got rid of, at the time, what was called the G37 sedan in favor of their new Q50, and they actually ended up bringing that sedan back because it was still so popular. Right here we've got a Tesla, a beautiful blue right here. Rode in a Tesla recently. You know, it backed itself into a parking space, it drove itself a little scary for a guy like me, but these are cutting edge cars, and the technology is only getting better and better with the upgrades that Tesla sends you. So we've got some Subaru action out here today. It's interesting, they're usually parked way on the other side, but that's okay. I'll film them wherever they're at. Pretty nice cars. So, do you own a Subaru? Do you own an STI? Let me know in the comment section below. Right next to one of these things isn't like the other, this Chrysler here. That's okay. That's what's great about this show, is that all people are welcome, and that it benefits the Moores Children's Hospital. So that's very important as well. We have another Infiniti out here today, aftermarket wheels, pretty nice rim and tire package, very sporty for this type of sedan, but still pretty nice car. Like I said, these are very, very popular. And we've got a totally slammed Miata here. I wonder if this one's bagged at all. I imagine it's got to be, but a lot of these aren't. So this one's got to be bagged because he's all the way on the ground. And the front end is still in good shape. So definitely a bagged car, or at least that's what I'm going with. So when I was getting set up this morning, I definitely wanted to show this to you. On Instagram, he's the Durango guy. You can see that right back there. But to see an SUV like this, customized to this level, is pretty unique pretty much anywhere. I love the wrap on it, and I love the wheels that he has with it. Those brush silver wheels with the wrap look really, really well together. So many people put black wheels on everything. Now, if that's your thing, that's fine. But I'm still kind of old school. I like the silver or the chrome. Looks like he's put quite a bit of extra power on this. Of course, he's got that cool light scheme going with the LEDs. But he got the turbo logo right there because what? He's got a twin turboed engine in here. So this thing is both looks and I can only imagine a ton of power. That's pretty cool though. It's really interesting when someone takes something that would be a family grocery getter and really, you know, takes it to the next level. You can see even the SRT badge lights up in sync. If you can see it, it's a little bright out here, but you can see it lights up in sync with the LED lights that run throughout the front of this vehicle, probably more than just the front. Carbon fiber hood, functional air intake, looks like. Nice black interior here. Let's wiggle around here. Pretty clean interior. Well, it's a stock interior as far as I know, but still clean. Obviously the owner's going to take care of a vehicle like this. It's got the door thing there. The Durango guy. So, you know, it's cool to see this though. And I'm being completely serious with y'all. To see something different and unique like this out here is awesome. And he's got a Texas license plate. I'm not going to show that to you, but he's got a veterans license plate, which I think is fantastic. I'm a veteran as well, so if I could show a fellow veteran's vehicle some love, I'm going to do it. And this is pretty cool. And the blackouts, I love these. I know they're getting more and more popular. People are doing them, but this carbon fiber blackout, you can sort of see the light a little bit in there. And of course you can see it at night much better, but it gives it that like it's a carbon fiber piece. Oh, and here comes the rain. It is Supra mania out here today. And yeah, it's raining. I'm gonna keep shooting as long as I can until I think it might damage my equipment because, well, this stuff costs money. So we got the Supras right there. We've got Chargers and Challengers. We're on their row right now. As you can see, they always come out in force. We've got Sunstreaker over here, a good friend of mine's, Hellcat. Of course, it's got custom graphics work, lights, well over 700 horsepower, as you know, with this car. Sunstreaker was a Decepticon on Transformers. I don't think you ever saw him in any of the movies. It was just the animated show. But these cars are great. I've driven a Hellcat recently, a stick shift one, and I absolutely love it. I have nothing but good things to say about these cars, what they're doing with them. They know exactly how to appeal to the people that are going to buy these. These are great straight line cars and great daily drivers. And right here, we've got a second gen MR2. Definitely not stock with the way it's sitting and the wheels and the pipes sticking out right there. Once again, these cars are great. I've never driven a second gen. I've only driven a first and a third. Like I said earlier, autocrossed a third gen. Gosh, such a long time ago now, but I remember it so well. And absolutely love these cars. More Mopar action here. Challengers, Chargers, 392s, SRTs. I don't think there's any scat packs here today. Great lineup of cars. A standout right there on the Mopar line. Got the Mazda. Great car though. Great car. Rotary engine. Really great technology. Don't use it that much anymore, but I've always had a thing for rotary engines. GTR. Classic American Mopar muscle right here. And as you can see, some people, the rain doesn't bother them. Other people, it does. Some people are leaving. I do have a interesting fact for you. Did you know that cars don't melt in the rain? So, and here we're coming up to a Mustang row. And right here, look at that. So we've got cars like this with some modifications, some with more extreme modifications on it. We've got 6 cylinders out here today. We've got the turbo 4-cylinder. Got a lot of great stuff. And boy, this rain is coming down harder and harder. My only concern is the camera stabilizer that I'm using right now. I don't care about what happens to me. And I know that my GTO, which is parked right over there, I'm gonna zoom in for you, right there, It's too badass. Rain can't hurt it. Ain't gonna melt. I decided to ditch the stabilizer so it doesn't get destroyed in the rain, but I'm not gonna stop shooting because of the rain, because there's so many awesome cars that showed up, including my good friend Jim's Viper ACR with the track pack on it. You can see he's a race car driver, obviously sponsored, beautiful car. Got all sorts of good sponsors on here, but he's got the ultimate power adder. Did you know that stickers can add horsepower? If you put a combustion chamber sticker on your car, that's an additional 5,000 horsepower to the wheels. It's true facts, man. It's physics, man. It's physics. So, as you can see, it's raining out here, but people are not taking off, which I think is good. And right across from this ACR is another Viper, one of my favorite generations here. I really like this one. Really nice car. Love it in this blue and white. Naturally aspirated 10-cylinder, as they all are. And what is that? A very modified Corvette ZR1 of the 6th generation. And even though it's raining, some of the supercar guys are out here. They know that their cars will not melt, including this Ferrari owner in his 488 Pista Spider. This car is gorgeous. I haven't seen one of these in person yet, believe it or not. I had to double check. Is that a Pista? It is. So, really nice car. It's great to see that people are still sticking around. The rain isn't scaring them off. They're still bringing their cars out here. So that is very, very cool. And this car is pretty exceptional. I've only heard good things about its performance. So it's great to see it out here today, even if it's in the rain. Who cares? Right here, we've got a McLaren 720S in this beautiful yellow, kind of, I wouldn't say gold, but pearlescent color maybe. Now, it's really hard to see that out here in the rain today, but love this body style, love this car, and I love it in this color. Really beautiful. So nice. Now look at this wild 570S right here. Never seen one quite look this way with the yellow accent stripes and the green. Now we've seen them in green and we've seen them with exposed carbon fiber or that darker gray or black pieces that run around the vehicle. But with the yellow and black accent stripes, very unique. Once again, you know, supercars are great. A lot of people don't modify them. They don't make them their own. They flip them. They hold on to them for an investment. Or they just drive them for a little bit and get the next biggest thing. But when someone takes the time to modify it and make it their own, I think that's really awesome. And right next to it, a Lamborghini Gallardo, naturally aspirated V10 engine. Love it. Of course, not a good day for a convertible, but always a good day for a car show. And the rain isn't stopping anybody. We've got imports, domestics, motorcycles. When I saw this, I knew that I had to get it on camera for you, no matter how crazy the weather is. Aston Martin DBS, DBS standing for David Brown, former owner of Aston Martin. And the S stands for Superleggera. This car is also in the James Bond film Casino Royale. Love this DBS, absolutely love it. The new one is great too. Great performance car, great strides forward. But this one I think is already going to be a classic. It's just a beautiful car in my mind. And you can pick these up with a stick shift. So if you're a diehard stick shift guy, well, guess what? You can get these in that stick shift. And we come down over here. We've got Maserati, Porsche, a couple of Porsches actually. So like I said, people are hiding out in their cars, but they're not leaving. I understand that, but I have no problem getting soaked and drenched so that y'all have a good video to watch, or at least the best that I can deliver to you given the current circumstances. So if you want to show appreciation, hit that subscribe button and bell icon for instant notifications when we go live. This is a completely independent operation, so if you want to support us on Patreon, that's great as well. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And look at this. One of my favorite cars, a Murcielago Super Veloce, out here in the rain. A lot of supercar guys don't bring them out in the rain, but you know what this guy does? It's fantastic. It's beautiful in orange. Now sometimes overcast days are great for paint jobs, and sometimes rain is, but not for this particular color. This car really pops in direct sunlight, but still great looking car regardless. Look at that. Ooh, and it is raining today. See, my show is so independent, I don't have anybody to follow me around with an umbrella.
Just give him a second. He's going to be back.
But more guys are showing up. Got another Supra here today. Porsche right here. It's still a great show. The turnout is massive. Even for the chances of rain, it didn't stop anybody. So I want to thank y'all, the attendees of this show, for coming out regardless. This lane, we got a lot of BMWs and a lot of Porsche. So let's go down Porsche here first. You've got Carreras, you've got, I don't think we have any Boxsters here today. So the rain certainly isn't keeping everybody out. People are still walking around checking cars. We got a GT3 here, very nice. And I like this black one with the neon green calipers and some other accents. You know, when you get one of their hybrid models, it does come with the neon green caliper. So maybe that's where that person sourced them from, because I don't believe that's a hybrid model. You've got a Cayman here. Just a whole nice lineup. Now, so all these cars look good. I do like them, but I love this color right here on this GT3. Now, we had a 991 GT3 RS on the show, and I absolutely loved it. One of my favorite cars that I've ever driven. Just sticks to the ground so well. But I promised some BMWs, so here we are. We've got dealerships out here. We've got car clubs that represent BMW. So just a whole slew of them. I kind of like this old school one right here, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And it's great to see people coming out here, staying out here. Remember, this is to support Nemours Children's Hospital. So staying out here, coming out here, regardless of the weather, is a good thing. And we come down here. Let's move a little bit more. I got to move a little slower, trying to keep the camera steady for you. Gorgeous, gorgeous M3. I love that orange. So raining,
Good morning, everyone.
getting drenched,
Thanks for coming out to
but
Cars
still
and Coffee
a
Central
great show.
Florida.
So earlier I talked about being in a Tesla. You know, it parked itself and drove itself a little bit. This is that exact car. My friend came out here to this show today. It's his first time coming out here. And what happens? It gets rained all over. But that's okay. Really nice car. He's had it for a little while now. I think he was one of the first to get one, maybe. Him and his lady are you know, taking it easy from the rain. Really nice car. Yep, and he waved there. He's got that white interior. Very nice indeed. And of course, right next to it is another Tesla in white with the white interior, so very cool. Also has a lot of video games in it. So these are purchased by people who like technology, who are environmentally minded. And then right next to it is the global killer, my modified Pontiac GTO, the 5.7 liter LS1, aluminum block, aluminum heads, composite intake manifold, full K&N air intake, SOP headers and pipe with resonators, no cats, no mufflers. Also, it has 2006 red GTO calipers on it, and one of the reasons for that is because in 05 and 06, they came with larger rotors up front on the when they put the 6-liter engine in it. So right here, we have the larger rotors and the dirty calipers you can see there, which I need to clean those. But steel brake lines, slotted cross-drilled rotors. So on a day-to-day driving, you don't really feel that upgrade. But when you have to really dog on the brakes, you know, you get cut off or something happens, that's when you feel it. So definitely stops as good as it accelerates. So I saw this coming in and knew that I had to get it on camera for you. A Terminator Edition Jeep. You know, Terminator 2 was the movie that inspired me to pick up a camera when I was a kid. So instead of going to Hollywood though, I stuck with cars. But this is pretty cool, I like it. One of my favorite video games is the two-person shooter arcade game. I used to go to the arcade and pump a bunch of quarters into it, and that was a lot of fun. So really cool graphic on the side. It's got the Jeep 75 years anniversary badging right there. Very cool, very customized. But I do like the custom graphics that run throughout. So just being a big movie buff, you know, this does appeal to me. Got the big exhaust tips there, big wheels and tires. very cool stuff. And what is actually here? A Charger Hellcat, just idling. Probably got the AC on, staying out of the rain. I want to thank all of y'all for watching Combustion Chamber Live today. If you want to check out this Corvette ZR1 with 900 horsepower in action, click right there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. And we're also on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you all for watching today.